The whole idea for me about pre-baiting is to get more fish in less time. I know that many times people think it takes a lot of time and effort to go pre-baiting, but in fact I think you can save time with pre-baiting. For me, I like to go fishing just overnighters. Many times I go fishing long trips also, staying out for 5 days, 10 days, but it's only under circumstances where I don't have any choice. When I'm fishing lakes that is within 50 kilometers from my home, I normally always do one-nighters from 6 in the evening until maybe 8, 9, 10, maybe up to lunchtime the day after. And I think definitely pre-baiting is the way to go. When it comes to the mixture of bait when you're pre-baiting, it's worth to use particles together with boiliers, because when you get a lot of different species in, you get a feeding frenzy, and that attracts the carp also. And when you lower down the levels on particles, and in the end maybe the last 2 times only use boiliers, you're not going to have so much of bream, roach, tench and so on in the swim. So that's a very cost-effective way to bait. Start with little boiliers, a lot of maize, and then lower it down. The benefits with pre-baiting is of course to get the fish to a certain spot. The longer time you do it, the more chance is that the fish learn to visit the area regularly. My preferred way to pre-bait is to use waders with a scoop and throwing it out, or a long handle with a scoop on. I want to get out as much bait as possible on the shortest possible time. Other methods that is worth using, I mean, when I need to, I use the throwing stick, I use the catapult, spod rod, I use the bait boat, normal boat. I'm using all kind of methods. Sometimes I even swim out with it. Everything can happen. Okay, what's the difference between shelf life and freezers? First of all, freezers is frozen. No preservatives. Shelf lives, you don't need to freeze them. Even if I prefer to use the freezer baits first, I always have a few bags of shelf lives in the car, and you have it as a backup. So when I go out for one night's fishing, maybe I only bring 2 to 3 kilo of freezer baits. That's what I gonna use for that night's fishing. When you pre-bait, I love to mix them 50-50 because then I know that attraction from the freezers goes very fast. They start to go off almost straight away. SPM have most of the baits in both freezer baits and shelf lives. And if I'm going to start pre-baiting in a new lake, normally I always check around for areas where I think the carp will visit. Normally you find them in somewhere in the northern end of the lake, because you're going to have a nice southerly winds blowing in there. Then I also want to use a swim that no one else going to fish. So I take somewhere that's a long walk too. It should be a little bit work to get to the swim, because then I can have it for myself. To sum up everything, pre-baiting, spend less time on the bank, catch more fish. That's what it is. Less time on the bank, more fish on the bank. Some people think it's take a lot of time and effort to pre-bait. I would say it takes more time and effort to not pre-bait, because if I would spend 15 nights fishing without pre-baiting compared to using 5 nights with pre-baiting and maybe 15 extra hours and a bit driving to pre-bait up, I'm sure I'm gonna catch more fish when I'm doing the pre-baiting. The pre-baiting paid off. 20 pound, really nice Aneboda mirror. Really a classic Swedish carp. I would guess this fish is not one of the really old ones. It's quite young, maybe 10 to 15 years old, and but it's just lovely. That's how we like them. The fish was caught on washed out SL2 over just a handful of chopped SL2 and FP boilers. Really happy for this. Really nice fish. And it's definitely not an easy water. It's quite big water with few fish, so it feels really good to take it on a short session. To be honest, I don't like to fish for carp without pre-baiting. I don't. I hate to fish for carp without pre-baiting.